It is alive.
Well, I'm here, but that doesn't mean I'm alive.
Master Sergeant is back. He has been working on the compound and going to the doctor and this and that and the other.
Dying from allergies.
Allergies, yeah. Just as ornery as he ever was.
More ornery because the doctor's got me sticking my finger 3 times a day.
Yeah, he's got some diabetic issues going on, but he'll be okay. He's tough.
Too ornery to die.
Yeah, he's tough.
Besides that, the only reason I'm still here is because the devil's afraid I'll take over.
Tougher than a $2 steak.
Oh, and that's tough.
We didn't do anything today.
Yeah, we did. We fixed.
Well, yeah, we fixed the tent poles and put the tent in the new tent bag.
Yeah,
and
we did a few things.
Didn't do much, though.
Chewed the fat.
That's okay.
All day.
That's okay. We need a day off. Sit around and goof off. We're both very good at goofing off.
You speak for yourself there. My wife will say, "What'd you do today?" I said, "The same thing I do every day. Go home, mash the button on the coffee pot, go sit in my chair."
That's what I'm fixing to do. I'm fixing to go sit in my chair.
Yep, I'm going to go sit in that chair out there.
Chair in the Yeep. The Yeep is still running. Y'all believe that?
Yep, that's still running.
2 or 3 years old now and it's still going.
He's 6 in November.
6 years old and still running? Man,
2014.
That's a record.
I bought it in November of 13.
All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow with something. I don't know what, but something.
And I'll be
Master
back
Sergeant will be back
later on this week or next week.
Yep. We're going fishing. We have us a fishing trip.
My boss is off for a week, so she gave me a kitchen pass and said go. So I went.
They don't tell them what we're going to do.
We'll get into something.
Yeah.
But we ain't telling.
All right, say bye.
All right, y'all. See you.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everybody. Let's get back on the boat project for a little while today. The knife business is slow right now, very slow. So remember, if anybody remembers when I rebuilt this trailer, there was a roller up front here that support the front end of the boat. And I was going to do a homemade type rig and decided against it. I'm just going to put another roller back in there. Now this is another one of them things that I've had for a long time that I've saved. And what I got to do, I got to build a bracket on each side because the bracket that was on there was basically solid rust when I took it off. Because remember, this boat was used primarily in salt water, heavy salt water, down around the Gulf and the pass and all down in there. And things just normally don't last in the salt water, salt air. So anything that was on it's gone. Of course, y'all know I replaced all the runners and all that. So this roller got to go up here like this. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to raise the front of the boat a little bit. And get measurements just right, get the angle like I want it, and I will build some new brackets. I have plenty of scrap angle iron, which is what I want to use. I'm going to have to cut it, might have to light the forge to bend it and do all that. And I'm going to use this rod here. It's a stainless rod. Well, I thought it was stainless. It's starting to rust a little, but this is actually out of an old table saw top. But it's very strong, it's very rigid, and it fits just right, and it'll roll. Now I'm going to get started on that. I'm going to get everything leveled off like I want it, and I'll show you the next step here in just a few minutes. Now, I decided to use flat steel that I had instead of angle iron, easier to work with. I had to change my shaft. Instead of that piece I showed you earlier, I've got a bolt, a galvanized bolt. I'll show you in a minute. I put this flat steel, I cut it to length, put it in the forge, got it hot, and bent it at a 90-degree angle, one for each side, sit like that. I just drill the holes for the mounting bolts in the frame. Now before I do any more, the roller will sit up above this, above these sharp corners, but just in case, because sometimes you have to walk down the trailer on the inside to get to the boat or whatever, depends on what ramp you're at. I'm going to go put these on the grinder and I'm going to round this, and this will stick over on the trailer just a tad, so I'm going to round this on both sides on the grinder. That way if I have to walk down the trailer, I don't have a sharp edge that I'm going to hit myself on. Or if something happens and the boat falls off the roller or whatever, it won't, sharp edge won't poke a hole in it. I'm going to do that. I'm just tooling along real slow this morning. And it's just about ready to bolt up, and I'll show you that here in just a little while. Alright, let's do a little bit of assembly here. Now the holes are already here from when the old mount was on. So it's going to use those. You don't want to drill any more holes than you have to in a trailer. Now I see already down at the bottom I'm going to have to get a spacer and put in there. A couple more washers. Bolt both sides on, and before I put the roller on there, I'm going to spray this down with some undercoating, same thing's on the trailer. Now here where I live, 90% of the ramps you use anywhere around here is brackish water, so it's going to rust eventually. You can't help it, it's going to. So but anything we can do to slow it down will help a lot. So let me find a spacer to put in each one of these, and hang on, I'll be right back. Alrighty, got my spacer in. I just took some washers, put a few on the top, a few on the bottom. I'm going to tighten it up. Got a lock washer on there also. Now I'm just going to snug it for right now, in case I need to adjust it to line it for alignment. That's this side. I'll do the other side the same way. Then I'll put the undercoating on here, let it dry for a few minutes, and then we'll put the roller in. And we're not far from being finished with this part of it. Then I can get back to top side. That's the fun part. It's almost getting to be real fun, because getting it all carpeted and rigged out, that's going to be the fun part. Enjoyable. Alrighty, I've got the front raised up just a little bit to where the roller's supposed to go. Now it's not going to fall. If it does, it won't fall about that much. So that jack, I know it don't look safe, but it's okay. Now what I want to do next is in between, got to remark that, in between here and here, when it's centered, I don't want it to go back and forth. So I've got some stainless steel tubing. I'm going to cut a little spacer for each side. On that side over there, see those threads? I'm going to cut that off, put a nut on it, and that's going to drill a hole in it, put a cotter pin so that nut won't back off. And then it'll be almost done. I thought I had some undercoat enough to do that, but if it's here I can't find it, so that can be done later. That's no big deal. Need to get this finished so I can get back on top side. Well, alrighty, there we go. I didn't have any stainless like I thought I did for a spacer, so I used good old PVC pipe. Good enough. We know that ain't gonna rust. So I'm gonna lower it down on there again. Yep, it'll roll. Should hold up okay. Just gonna let this down. All right, let the weight back on there. That will support it. And as it's coming on the trailer, I'll give it a place to line up, so to make sure it's lined up center right there. I still gotta do a little bit of something up here. And the back piece, hang on, let me show you that. I'm not exactly sure this is the right trailer for this boat. Maybe it is. But remember, I put the bar in here to put a motor mount on. To get it to fit up top, it's got to come up here. So I think when I hang the motor, before I hang the motor, I'm going to take this back piece off. And there's plenty of room for it to go in there. And for motor support, the support arm, I'll go in between back here somewhere. And for the tie downs, I've got some eye bolts. I'll use these holes that's already here, bend them over and use that. But we'll worry about that when it gets time for the motor. So that's probably going to do it for today. Yesterday it neared 90. Got almost 90. It was in the mid 80s in the shop. And it was hot. So another few days of that, and it's going to be time to turn on the AC in the shop, which means the power bill will go up, which means Ricky must sell knives to pay that. So, with the exception of the knife of Eli, which is almost done, I'm wide open knife orders. Anybody would like something, let me know. I've got a couple of prototypes I'm going to work on as I get a chance. I'm really trying to concentrate on this, and there'll be some more of this going on in a couple days, maybe even today. I don't know. We'll start another one though. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I see y'all later. Alright, next step on the boat project. Live wells are in. Got the front plate back on here. This is where the front seat goes. I'm going to fasten this back. Now right there. Let's see right there. Now I'm using self-tapping screws because if I goof up, I can take them out. Put rivets in, it'll be harder to take out. Now move to that side. Because I had to drill all these rivets out when I took this apart. Now before the seat pedestal goes in, there will be a solid piece of plywood across there to help it keep it stable. Which will take more screws. Further sink that down. Now I'm going to put one in the center of the live well, because there'll be a piece of wood across there just to hold it still. we go. That is secure. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my little ladder and get up in here. This front piece here, I'm going to fasten it down on some of these big self-tapping screws. And then I'm going to put the centerpiece with this piece here, which actually goes a little bit beyond this seam. That's why I'm not worried about that seam. But I've got some carpet, the same color I'm going to use, that I'm going to put down here. Just a little strip. I'm going to put the piece in and do the final carpet job. It'll come up and cover the metal. You'll see what I mean when it's over with. But just for a little cushion, when I get that fastened, I'll get the carpet out and do that. It's taken a long time, but believe it or not, we're not too terribly far from being finished with this. The carpet, get the motor on, that's going to be a challenge to get the motor, total motor, and all the wiring done. That's why I'm hoping my expert electrician buddy will be here by that time and help me with the wiring. Be back in a minute. I've got a helper in the boat. Fasten this floor down, and my buddy, can you see me? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I gotta have one of those too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's don't knock those out. Yeah, want your drink back? Want your drink? You going to town with Granny? Come here. Tell him bye-bye. Tell him bye-bye. Tell him bye-bye. Hey, hey. Tell him bye-bye. Alright, now keep talking about this other piece that goes in between here and here. There it is. I just got it secured in there. Now the reason I put the carpet in, because I want it to go on the floor down here underneath. The sides here and here, I'm not concerned about carpet. I'll take some white spray paint and paint that just so it'll illuminate a little bit better at night. And down here, I'll take my razor knife and cut it off even, cut this carpet off. When I do the entire carpet, it will all come across and come up to here and cover this. Now this boat came with speakers on either side, boogie woogie music speakers, I guess, or whatever, which I care absolutely nothing about. I do like to have a little radio in there for weather and this and that, which I'm going to mount my CB in here. And I have a very nice Pioneer car stereo, but I don't know if I'll put that in there or not. I may just get me a little dollar store radio to turn on if I want to listen to something. But for the most part, the radio and the music and all that is, to me, has nothing to do with fishing. So, and the boat has everything to do with fishing. So, alright, so this will have a solid lid all the way across. That is the storage. And that'll be all the storage that I'm going to have, with the exception of a little bit under the seats. And I think that's going to be more than plenty. I mentioned before in another video that I carry too much stuff. So if I don't have room to carry it, I can't carry it. So that should work out pretty good. Alright, I don't have carpet for the rest of it. I'm going to cut the flotation foam for the front. I don't have any spray foam to secure it. So somebody please order a few knives so I can have some money to finish this thing. Because cannot touch the house budget. If I even ask, I get a You know, y'all know who that is. So I don't need a lot more for it. I need carpet. I've got one pedestal for here. I need 2 more pedestals, and we'll look at those later. And then I can start, once I get the carpet in, I can start the wiring and all that. And one day we'll hang the motor. Still don't know about seats. I've got all kinds of seats, but none of them look alike, so I may try to make them all look alike, because there's nothing wrong with them. They're just all mismatched. But we'll see about that later too. Alright, we'll go ahead and close it out. I was going to make a whole separate video on this part, but I figure I'll just add it on to the one I made earlier when I did the roller up front. And it is approaching 90 again. It's hot, so I'm going to go in. And I thank y'all for watching. I thank you for your support. I thank y'all more than you realize. And I will see y'all in a couple of days with something else. I told you I had some. And I found it exactly where I put it. Bye.